Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
Okay, just saw the premiere, season 1, episode 1 of The Penguin, titled After Hours. Yes. Kind of a roller coaster episode, but not the good way. I thought the beginning sucked, and I thought the ending sucked. But the middle was like actually interesting. I thought that was pretty good, actually. I was cheering this show on through probably more of the majority of the show than not. Is that correct? Like I was like, oh, there's something here. Like I can see something here. Like at least through a decent portion of the middle of the episode. Doesn't mean the show is dog shit. I'm not saying that yet. Not yet. It's definitely entertaining. It's entertaining for sure. But it feels like I see too many TV show things happening, and that's the thing that worries me the most. All right, my problems in the beginning were problems I had with the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman. I complained quite a bit about. I don't think I reviewed it on this channel. I don't think I did, but I really dislike that movie. Not just from a fan of Batman, I guess, but also cinematically. And as a fan of Batman, one of my gripes was this dude was not a hero. Now I know they're like, oh no, he's not a hero, he's vengeance. I get it. It was still tacky, corny, and then they tried to make him a hero anyways in the movie, right? He did some sort of like Hurricane Katrina savior things. I didn't like it, which means when I see it in the show, when they show headlines on the TV like, "Oh, Batman is out here giving bottles of water to sprinters during the Boston Marathon," like that shit does not make him a fucking hero to me. But they're trying to tell me that he is a hero from that. Whatever, I get it. My personal gripe. Onward. In the Batman movie, which they're trying to lead off of, right? Which is where my problems at the beginning of the show comes from. The Penguin is a comedy act. He actually is. He's a comedy fucking act. He's the guy who like he puts bananas in fucking tailpipes, bro. Pause. He is that guy, man. He throws a banana in the fucking muffler and your car fucking doesn't go off, right? Your car stalls out or something, right? He is that character. And they're continuing that in the beginning of this episode. Like, actually. And I don't like that either. But then, at a certain point, the show becomes an actual crime, thriller type of thing. And those were the best parts of the episode to me. When we're like, it's like Denzel Washington in a movie called Out of Time, where he's like trying to the Penguin is caught in a certain situation, and he has to find a way out of it, and that's like the interesting thing. That's the interesting part. But then by the end of the episode, they like kind of like make it more cartoonish again, to where it's like damn, I'm not using my own personal detective skills, or the audience, if you will. It's like we're not using our own like logic and skill of, foregoing, suspension of disbelief, just like from the situations we're seeing in front of us. To be like, oh man, how does he get out of this one? We like try to figure it out, and then he like the character actually does it. Maybe it surprises us, maybe it doesn't. But I thought that's where they were going in the middle of the show. It was actually entertaining. The whole episode was entertaining, but I'm saying like if that's their point, they threw it away by the end of the fucking episode. In my opinion, it wasn't. This is not going to be like a guessing game for the entirety of the show. It's just something that like hooked us, I guess, in the mid parts of this episode, which is okay. All right, it's still entertaining. I thought it got actually pretty good, like better than just average. When the Falcone sister, shows up, and she's like, "Yeah, I just came from Arkham," and like she's supposed to be like quote unquote crazy, I guess, and she can sniff out like, yo, what's his name? Like Oswald or some shit like that. Oz, like, yo, Oz, like, yo, I know not to look past you. I know you can set up scenarios or get away with things because people maybe look past you, but I see you. I see what you are. I see what you do. And if you killed my brother, you would have some sort of clever way of getting out of it. Thus, I'm looking at you. Actually, seriously, not some like bullshit way of, oh no, not this guy. This guy ain't doing anything. She's like, nah, I actually see you for what you are because I'm a fucking Arkham patient and I can smell what you're doing. Which is like, I thought that was cool, man. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they went a little over the top with the mom, with Penguin's mom, where I guess his I don't know what we call it, his criminal bent is from maybe things she instilled in him, or things his dad did that she remember, or maybe things that his dad did that she is now taking from that experience and installing into him. Maybe. Fine. Uh, what else? Yeah, it's for me right now. Overall, it's an okay start. It's okay. It's an okay start, but I don't expect excellence from this. I expect at the best interesting drama series that makes you think and you get twists and turns and shit like that, and you're like, oh fuck, I can't believe that character did X, Y, or Z. I think that's the best you're looking for from this show. Instead of like, yeah, I changed the way I think about this or that based on watching the show. You're not going to get that at all, in my opinion. You're going to get like maybe like pretty entertaining shit. At worst, God, cliche riddled, trope riddled storytelling. There are flashes of in this episode too, by the way. There are flashes of that. But, like, there's portions of the show that remind me of like Fox 5 television, of like, oh, Fox, like TV drama, whether it's based on FBI, SWAT, CIA, ambulance, firefighters, whatever the fuck, network television, like cliches of these things. Part of this episode reminds me of that, and that is not a good thing. But maybe it's to fill out time so they can get to the better storytelling shit. Maybe. I accept that. Well, I don't accept it as excellence, but I accept it as, yeah, people do that to fill in gaps of their storytelling. So overall, I I think I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I did. But is there plenty of room for downfall? Fuck yes. There's a chance this shit could hit the fucking ground and hit the earth, and no one will. Let's be real. Most people won't fucking notice because they bought the Batman. The Batman is one of the most dog shit movies I've ever seen in my life, but people love that movie. It's actually dog shit, but people loved it. So, hey, if they can live off of that, maybe they can get away with, uh, I don't want to say Sopranos. I don't think it's Sopranos. I think it's uh I think it's Denzel Washington at a time. That's what I think it is. I think it's at least the majority of the first part of or the first half of this season. If it's 10 episodes, the first 5 or 6 are going to be about him getting out of shit. Then maybe the rest he's like a ruler or he's like the king of the fucking underground or the king of the crime families or whatever. Then we'll see something there, but I I don't know yet, personally. And I don't expect anything of greatness to come from this. Just being honest, you know. Any other opinions out there? Anyone? Like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Overall, I like this. I didn't go into it thinking the Batman. I know it's the same story, but it didn't feel like Batman movie. Batman movie really sucked. Like this.
They tried.
I think
They tried in the beginning, for sure.
yeah. I mean, they could connect it, but it just felt different to me. So um,
Yeah.
and also we've been watching a lot of like really boring stuff. So this was not boring. In the beginning, I didn't like his. He was excessively like a weak person, which you could kind of tell, of course, is to build him up, like where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But like that weakness is like that's him. So like whatever he does, whatever he changes, like his obviously he's going to become much more powerful, but it's going to come from a place of weakness. Like he's going to try to aspire to things because of that weakness. So even when he's going to be strong, he's this is who he is. And the
Yeah.
mother scene, I I didn't mind that. Like I actually kind of liked. It was slightly over the top, but I thought it was fine. Like just showing who he is through his mother, and why he's like that. I thought that went fine. What I didn't like the part
Uh,
where the um the sister, she
the
she
Falcone
was very,
sister. Okay.
yeah, that Falcone sister, she was very calculated in the beginning. So when she was going through that, like she had him like hostage and kill people, it didn't fit. Like that could be her actual character, but it just didn't kind of rhyme with the rest of what she was doing. So
Okay.
I I mean that might be, chances are if they were just showing that they're gonna do a lot more. But yeah, I preferred like her calculated, like holy shit, she's on top of things. Um, and I thought that was much more powerful as as a as a villain, because you don't, she held her cards, like you didn't know what she knew until, like, I mean, yeah, she tell you, okay, after a while, um but I like that way of telling it better. Um,
Huh?
and then overall, yeah, overall definitely much more entertaining. Um,
And more of the
I gave
fucking
it
rings.
in the beginning. I was when it started, I was like, I'm gonna give this a chance, and it just kept going. Like I didn't like feel bored to like do something else. It's like it was paying attention.
Yeah, true.
So
True.
um, so
Entertaining.
overall, I liked it. But yeah, could it go downhill? Of course, but like it's a good episode one, I think.
Okay. That's fair enough. Although, man, I think they built the bridges that can lead to wreckage. I think they built them, which is why I kind of within the first 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes of the show, I was like, okay, they're not shooting for excellence. They're shooting for entertaining, like entertainment, right? So, okay, fine, entertain me. And there's portions of this episode where it's like their attempts to entertain me look corny as fuck. And like it is what it is. I thought in the very beginning, to where they're obviously tailoring to or kind of I don't want to say paying homage, but like they're like referencing the Batman movie, which sucked ass, by the way. Sorry if you don't know yet, but it sucked. It sucked ass. That movie sucked ass, and they're like they're kind of pandering to it in a way. And then they go, they say, here's the Batman shit, the movie shit, and now here's the show called The Penguin, and they still go through kind of some tropes and some cliche ass shit. That's kind of like, okay, that's a little bit of wreckage. But they move on from there and they try to go through like we're seeing things from a little bit more of Penguin's perspective and how like, oh fuck, he's in the shit. He's a guy who maybe isn't a big timer, right? But maybe someone pushes him too far. He's like, fuck you. And he fucking pulls the gun out. He fucking shoots him. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Right? Maybe he gets there at some moment. And now the rest of the show is like him cleaning that up and him like escaping by the narrowest margin. Right? It's like, oh, okay. That's where we're going. But then it's kind of like a feeling like, oh, he escaped and now we're building drama for the sake of drama where it's now corny cliche again, which is, I think, the end of the episode, in my opinion. To where it's like, I don't know, it felt like the sister, who's like supposed to be, apparently, from the show that they've given me so far, she's more like savvy, even though she's in a mental institution, she was still like kind of savvy in a way, and she can read things. She has intelligence. It kind of made her into where is the penguin or whatever? Where is Oz? Like she's like almost like a cartoonish, I guess, antagonist to the protagonist of Penguin, right? That's the way it felt near the end. Towards like, damn, is this screen filler? Are they filling in time with this? What am I watching now? That's the way it felt. And I hope it doesn't just strictly stay in that direction. I hope it's more of a fuck. I don't know. They're not going with meaning, so hopefully it's more of a let's build suspense out of all this instead of, you know, the waiter trips over a banana peel and fucking boom, the penguin gets away type of shit. Like Norman Bates, right? That shit was stupid as fuck when you see that in that show. When you see Norman's like, he's clearly caught. You got him. And this dude fucking skates away by the skin of his fucking teeth, right? The ending of this is kind of like that to me. Of the penguin like kind of skating away from things. And I'm like, don't follow that trend, please. Please, show, don't follow that. If you want to do something, do more of a penguin perspective, and the rest we're kind of like picking up as a mystery. Instead of, boom, we get all the scenarios, and we're finding out what happens to the penguin that's the mystery. You know what I mean by that? Like it's like we're seeing more of a closer to a first person perspective of Penguin. Thus, when evidence gets found or this happens, it's kind of a mystery to us. We're just figuring it out as we go along. Versus, we're knowing the whole scenario and we have to watch. Like, how is Penguin gonna get away with this? Like, oh, he did a backflip over a pool and landed on his feet, and boom, he's gone. Now he's safe. Like, that would be horrible. Like, I hope they're not going that direction.
Too much exposition, like where they just explain it.
Well, yes, but also like the thing they actually give us as an explanation is actually dog shit. Because like certain scenarios is like this is not realistic. How'd you get out of this? Right? But if we're seeing it from his perspective, it almost seems like fate or luck
Mhm.
or whatever term you want to put on it. Like, oh, okay, now it's like this character is protected by nature itself, so that Penguin becomes the Penguin, so that
Mhm.
he becomes a character in Batman's world or something like that.
Yeah, I
But
didn't realize that
like,
the reason that they were explaining it so much was because it's from his perspective. But now that makes sense to me.
I would
Yeah.
hope that's what they're doing, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that fits. Like I just didn't piece it together. I got that they were just being excessive, but there's some
Uh,
reason to it.
no,
Um.
I think they were being excessive. That's what
Yeah.
I think. Like they were being excessive, like pulling us more into the yeah, you can call it exposition, I guess. But I'm looking at it as like a I don't know, like a writer taking a shit, but he has to cover
Yeah.
it up with dirt. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
here's a piece of shit, but I'm covering it up with dirt so you can move on and not like think about it later. Like,
I thought the reason
let's
they
move
did
on.
it was like to keep it like a surprise to the audience.
Well,
Okay, this is.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I was seeing, but it makes a little more sense now.
Well, fuck, we'll say this is one episode in. I hope it's a little more well thought out because I'm telling you, the beginning and the ending of this episode feel like network television almost, where things are like a little bit too explained to you and kind of cheap looking. But hey, at the end of this episode, we're kind of walking away with into the next one. Okay, well, okay, Penguin killed, the son of Falcone. Falcone, I think. Yeah, Falcone, which is also, by the way, I want to say is hilarious. John Turturro in the Batman, his glasses never came off. He got shot in the chest. His glasses never came off. It was just wearing shades the whole time. Then when they show like they showed a guy that was also wearing sunglasses that wasn't John Turturro in this episode. Like, oh yeah, Falcone died. And it's like some guy with sunglasses on. It's just hilarious to me. Like they never come off. That should be like a meme on its own, but I guess no one noticed it from the Batman viewers or whoever saw that movie. That was fucking hilarious. But yeah, it, we should go into episode 2 with a sense that I mean, well, she's already onto him by the end, right? And the kid did his distraction with the center block on the fucking car, hot wired it, I guess, because he's a street kid who steals cars. And yeah, they set that up in the beginning because he's some kid trying to steal the Penguin's car, so he must know how to hot wire, and they put a center block on it, whatever. Uh, I damn, fuck, I don't know where they go from like with this.
Well,
I'm curious.
Anthony said in the beginning, it's like, well, they're probably gonna make him like was like a hero or like the um
Not the worst guy,
because
not yet, at least.
well, or what do you call it, like the anti-hero or like the bad guy who's still he's still a hero. You're following his story, you're seeing his perspective, so
Listen,
that's why they need
yeah.
Crazy Lady Falcone to be
No,
the
no,
villain.
no, because I don't know if she's like the bad guy really yet. So let's call him the protagonist right now, and
All
then
right.
then at later points we'll shift out who is, I guess the antagonist to him, or whatever. Right? I'm sure they're like building up special moments for when the idea of Batman is mentioned, because the source material, obviously.
I'd
So
prefer that they keep him out of this. Like,
mm,
just my preference. Because it's which Batman it is. So like I think it'll just contaminate it.
Well, I don't think you can. That's the thing about it, because quote unquote criminals are afraid to go out at night because they see a bat signal in the air or whatever, right? And they showed in the beginning of the episode that he's ingratiated as some sort of hero type of character, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
the Batman was out there doing 9/11 shit. He's fucking a 9/11 firefighter, fucking helping people and shit like that, pulling them out of rubble and all that stuff. So it's like, can't really go without the mention of him, the way they went about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, god damn it, there's so many problems with the Batman movie that it's just like it's actually intruding on this one. It's like the Penguin, as far as Falcone goes, right? Like he talked to Junior Falcone and made him think like oh no, Penguin, he's loyal, or Oz, whatever his name is. Like, oh, he's loyal. But at the same time, in the Batman movie, this dude tried to shoot him and brought like in front of all the cops of Gotham City, like in front of all of them. He tried to shoot him, which he didn't get in trouble for because he played a comical role and not like a real role. But there's moments in this, actually, just moments in this episode where I was smelling the comical version of the Penguin character from the Batman movie, where it's like, that's not good. That is definitely not good. I don't want comical thing. I want I like a crime thriller, and who knows where they go. It's kind of an open book, but there are things. If you're hoping for something good, or you're a fan of this, or whatever the fuck, you're a Colin Farrell fan, or you're the Batman fan, I think there are things to look forward to. This is not the worst thing ever. It's not at all. Definitely entertaining. And I hope they keep going with the more interesting parts of this. I think. You know, the like I said, the Denzel at a time shit. Where it's like, damn, how do you get away with this? At a certain point that'll get fatigued, right? And you gotta move on to something else. But it's a okay starter to find out, like, okay, if we're gonna write an origin story for this Penguin character and how he becomes like the boss of bosses, like, not a bad starter, right? It's not bad. There's some comical things that happen, man. It really really does. Some farts, some writing farts, in my opinion. Some shit to make an episode end, type of shit. It happens, but overall, they could make something out of this. Not excellence, but entertainment. For sure. They can do it. At least right now. Uh, so yeah. It is what it is. Uh, am I watching next episode? Bet your ass I am. Also, I think Colin Farrell's Italian accent kind of fell off a bit. Maybe from the movies. Maybe he was the same in the movies. I just don't remember. But kind of fell off to me in this episode. Didn't sound too good. But whatever. Not harping too much on shit like that. So far, worth watching, and I will keep watching. Probably the whole thing, but I will let you know when it's like, okay, we are in disappointment territory, and no, this show is dog shit. I'll let you know when I feel that, but I don't feel that so far. So far, it can go really good, or it can go pretty good, or really really bad. That's where I'm at. You got a strict range here. You can go to like pretty good to really really bad. That's where I'm at. I hope it's the better version. But there's our little review reaction to the very first episode of The Penguin, Season 1, Episode 1. After Hours? Sure. All right.